Gianni Infantino ran the most watched sporting event on Earth. Then he spent 900 words explaining why nobody was allowed to criticize him for it. It went up late on a Sunday night. 15 slides, personal account, then reposted to FIFA's 8 million followers. Sorry that you were so consumed by hate and criticism that you missed it all. He told the critics to reflect, meditate, pray, or watch a football match. That's a strange thing to write after running the tournament successfully. Successful things don't usually need a 900-word letter defending them. So what was he actually defending? A Somali referee, Omar Artan, was denied a U.S. visa and never worked the tournament. Iran's team entered the United States while the two countries were still at war. American striker Folarin Balogun got a red card, then had the suspension lifted after a phone call from Donald Trump. That alone would be an awkward week for any organization. But while Infantino was writing about love and unity, FIFA was quietly doing something else. FIFA sent a letter to its member federations with a number attached: $40 million if they backed Infantino's restructuring plan by September 19th. $20 million released immediately, the rest tied to getting the votes he needed. UEFA called it what it looked like: an act of coercion unworthy of an institution entrusted with the stewardship of the global game. If $40 million to federations sounds like a lot, it wasn't the real number. The actual plan was to sell 20% of FIFA's commercial business, the part that runs the World Cup itself. Value of the stake, $4.2 billion. Value of the whole business, on paper, $20 billion. Football's governing body was putting a price tag on the tournament and shopping it to outside investors. There's a name for what FIFA was running here. Call it the loyalty tax. Pay federations enough, fast enough, and objections get quieter. It's not a bribe on paper. It's a deadline with a check attached. To be fair to Infantino, FIFA under his leadership isn't a cartoon villain. Revenue has grown enormously since he took over from Sepp Blatter in 2016. The World Cup expanded to 48 teams. More nations get to play on the biggest stage than ever before. Some of that money genuinely funds grassroots football in places that never had it. It would be lazy to pretend none of that matters. But growing the pie and quietly trying to sell a slice of it to private investors are two different things. The backlash arrived fast. UEFA voted to boycott FIFA competitions in protest. Carlos Cordero, one of Infantino's own senior advisors, resigned the same week. He called the plan a bad deal for football on his way out. That's the peak of it. No shouting match, no scandal montage, just one senior official quietly walking away from the man he used to work for. FIFA scrapped the stake sale days later. No press conference, no apology, no follow-up post to the 8 million followers. Which is the actual twist here. The 900-word letter was never really about defending the World Cup from critics. It was posted while a $4.2 billion sale and a $40 million loyalty deadline were both quietly in motion. Getting people to argue about hate and criticism is a very effective way to keep them from asking where the money was going.